Okay, we are recording. Welcome. This is our first call for the February mentorship crew. We are super excited to have you guys. And the first Sunday usually falls a little bit earlier, so I feel like you guys have been rolling a little bit, and we're excited to get you guys all here and connected. We're going to go over a couple little things today. We're going to screen share and show you some things today, but we also want this to be really interactive if you need it. So if you have questions as we go, please put them in the chat section, and we will get to them near the end when we do a little bit of a Q&A or as we go along. I think the most exciting part about today is, like, congrats, you're officially a business owner. And that's something that we really want to have you walk away believing, right, from this training. I think so often women that join us and decide to do this kind of like say they'll see how it goes. And it's such a safe thing to say, right? That you're just going to see how it goes. And that's amazing. We all just said we would see how it went, but this can be something really big and beautiful if you want it to be. This business has so much potential, and really the requirement to make it big, if you want it to, is consistency over time. So something we talk about a lot in the coaching world is kind of like the emotional yo-yo. Like, I totally think I can do this. Why am I doing this? Why did I? Oh yes, I got someone to join me. Like, it really is a real thing. And even 3 years in, I feel this. Like, I know Erin was on the yo-yo this week. Like, putting yourself out there just gives you that type of emotion, right? You're constantly putting yourself out there and being vulnerable, and that leads to feeling all the feels. So you are not alone if you are feeling like that. And it's one of the biggest reasons why the community is the biggest part. If you've been in that chat and not really participating, just sort of reading and like sitting on the sidelines, get off the sidelines and just dive into it, because that's the only thing that's going to help. If you haven't invited anybody, you need to just rip off the band-aid and do that, right? It sort of goes for all the things in coaching. But the number one thing right now for all of you guys, as you are just beginning, as you are just deciding to become a coach, is that your number one job is your journey. Your journey is your job, your journey is your job, your journey is your job. If ever you're struggling, you don't know what to post, you don't know what to focus on, lean into your own journey, into your workouts, into your meal plan, into your personal development. That is the cornerstone of being a coach, and that is what's going to keep you around. I really had a moment this weekend where, like, just haven't been good on my meal plan. I've been sort of sabotaging, and the trainer Autumn said, okay, we're halfway through this program, and I had this feeling of like, oh, you've wasted this time. And then I have really had to check myself, like, man, it's so the opposite. I'm still here after 3 years, waking up every day, working out, focusing on my nutrition, taking Sundays to start again on Mondays. Like, man, that's a win. And that is the most powerful thing about coaching, is that you're constantly forced to restart, refocus, and it's about you. It's about your journey. A lot of you might have even started this to be accountable. That's why I started this, to be accountable to my own journey. I thought, if I do this, if I like say I'm going to go all in, then I'm going to have to like actually do the program and actually get results and show up in that way. So if that's why you're here, then being vulnerable, sharing that with your audience is the only way that you're going to get the accountability that you need to follow through on that. I'm going to talk about sort of two different types of coaches. So this training, we want to give you all the information that you need in order to get your business off the ground. But also we want to meet you where you're at. These calls are going to be geared towards people that are sort of running. And what I mean by that, like, I remember Jamie Fitzpatrick, when I first started coaching, he asked me, he's like, would you consider yourself like a walker, a jogger, or a runner? And I was like, oh, that feels like intimidating. I'm going to say jogger. That's easy, right? And it just sort of means like, how much do you want to pour into this business? But really, I think that it might take you some time to figure out, but we sort of look at coaches in two different ways. Like, there's a hobby coach and there's a working coach, and both types of coaches are absolutely welcome in our community. Some people just join for the community and don't really have any financial goals or, you know, any real goals for the business, but they want to be part of the community. They want the discount and they invite a friend here or there to join them. And that really is considered a hobby coach. One thing that some people get wrapped up on in the beginning is like, well, how much does it cost to be a coach? And we always tell you, you know, you have your coach fee, which is 15 or 20 bucks a month, depending on what country you're in. And then you purchase your own products. And if you're a hobby coach, hobbies cost money and you'll be paying for your own products. And that's what this business will cost you. If you're a working coach, absolutely those costs will be covered and beyond. And we want to help you sort of understand the compensation plan and all those things so that you can really maximize it. You know, I talked about the yo-yo. You guys are all brand new, probably to putting yourselves out there on social media. One of the biggest things that is going to get you through some of this emotional roller coaster, if you're feeling it, is understanding why you want to do this. And if you haven't shared that with your coach, I would really suggest you take some time to think about it and figure out what your why is. Because sometimes I'll get on a call with a coach and it's like, oh, you know, I'm not doing this for the money. Like, and I'm not doing the meal plan. It's like, well, why are you doing this? Right? Forget about the reasons why you're not and the things you don't care about or you think you don't care about right now. Why are you doing this? And it has to be deeper than being a good example for your kids, because this is about you, right? It's about you and what this is going to bring to your life. You know, and then the next one is setting some goals. I hope at the end of this call, I'm going to pass it to Air after this, but I hope at the end of this call, you're ready to set some goals in this business and you're ready to get sort of focused and figure out, okay, what am I going to do this week to move my business forward? What's my goal by the end of this training? And why do I want to do this and how am I going to move forward? So Erin's going to talk about a little bit more of the action steps.
Guys, I'm so excited to see everybody here. I called Laura out in the chat because she's in Scotland and it's way later there for her tonight. But I'm so excited to see so many of you guys here today. I know that it's an important day for some of you and you're squeezing this in. So amazing. That just shows to us that you're super committed to making this business happen and we are here for you. So what's first on my list here? Okay. So we've really, like, to be honest, over the course of the last 3 years, Courtney and I have changed the training over and restarted and added new things and scratched this. And like, we're constantly reevaluating it and re-updating it. Ultimately, like, my biggest tip to everybody is that this, like, for your first month of training and really even your first year of coaching, you will learn by doing, not by watching training or not by listening to us or watching us. You will learn by doing, taking action, making mistakes, doing something wrong, and then being like, oh, and learning from it and moving on. The only way you're going to get good on social media is by trying social media and looking like an idiot and then being like, that didn't work, and trying something else. Like, the only way you get better at doing things is by doing them. So we used to have like this huge long thing of training with all these long videos and everything, but we felt like people would get stuck in kind of training mode instead of actually doing mode, and it wasn't helping anybody. So I really want to urge you to, first and foremost, visit that action list and do the things on that to teach yourself and learn instead of getting stuck on the training videos. We've also revamped, because Beachbody has come out with amazing training videos, amazing trainings in the back office. Take some time if you haven't already and really go through the back office and play around, because there's so much there for you. And honestly, all the top coaches put all their training on YouTube. Like, you can spend hours listening to podcasts, watching YouTube videos, trying to learn all the things. Ultimately, it's not going to do you any good. I'm going to tell you that straight up. If you just keep watching training video after training video, you will get stuck into being the sponge and not actually doing the thing. So stick with the action items list and do the things. All right. Second thing I want to talk about is, because I think the majority of you also have another job or kids or other commitments or other things on your list. How many people, like, this isn't something they can dedicate 10 hours a day to? Yeah. When I first started, I had a busy full-time job. My kids were both in ring sports. I felt like I had zero time to do this. So the only way I was able to fit it in, honestly, was to make it like a job and schedule myself office hours. And this, I'll be honest, takes a lot of discipline because I was so passionate about coaching at the beginning. I was so excited about it. Anytime somebody messaged me back, I'd be glued to my phone. I was like, I couldn't help it. But if you guys really, really want to make this a successful business for yourself, you need to treat it like a job. Give yourself, like, figure out in your schedule when you're going to work. Like for me, it was, I would work my lunch hour, then I would work when my kids went to bed at night between 8 and 10. And it took a lot of friggin' discipline not to be looking on my phone. It still does, to be honest, throughout the times when I'm not necessarily quote unquote working. But when you go and sit down at like a desk, instead of like lounging on your couch or somewhere, like find a spot that you're going to do this work. And if you sit down for like a focused 2 hours, and turn off notifications for anything else, try not to get stuck in scrolling, and you get like really committed to doing the things in those 2 hours, you will be way more efficient than you would if you were like on it all day long. Not to mention, you'll also drive your family insane if you're constantly like this. Said from experience. So do yourself a favor, figure out when and where this business fits into your life. Truly. And if you have an hour over lunch hour, then that's your time. If you have time, like in the afternoon, then that's your time. But figure out where you're going to fit this in and stick to it like it's a job. Like you're not going to not show up at your other job. So don't not show up in this job. Okay. So I want to talk a little bit about this. This is what they call the Business Activity Success Club Tracker. If you guys haven't seen this yet, we will drop a link to it in the chat or in the our Facebook Messenger group. But there's 2 ways to do this. This is ultimately what Beachbody has as kind of like what to do every day. They literally list the 4 vital behaviors and all the actions that you can do every single day. They have it here and they also have it electronically. So we are going to go through that in a little bit. I'll show it to you. But if you wake up and you're like, I don't even know what I'm doing, like I don't even know what to do every day, this is what you're supposed to do every day. Okay. I'm not going to go through it with a like line by line because you guys are all adults and all professionals. You can read it. It's super self-explanatory, but that's what you want to do every day. Your bet. Okay. I know that we had in the chat, some people were mentioning that they were already struggling with finding people. They were struggling with kind of like who to invite, how to invite, the wording, all those things. This ultimately takes the same thing. It takes doing, it takes ripping off the Band-Aid. It takes having a bit of courage to reach out to people. But initially you want to reach out to the people who you feel comfortable with, the people who are your people that you're not like nervous to talk to. So in the beginning, I messaged my girlfriends. I was on such a high from these workout programs. I literally couldn't wait to do the workouts every single day. So reaching out to my girlfriend and saying, hey, I'm in love with these new workout programs. I'm totally losing weight. I'm loving it. Do you want to do it together? We can like keep each other accountable and be miserable together. That's what I would say. And that's an invite. But it's literally just you think about messaging out your best friend, talking about something that you really love. It would be the same as if Starbucks came out with a new flavor and you were obsessed with it. Hey, did you hear Starbucks has a new flavor? We should go and get coffee together and try it. Like, I think sometimes we overcomplicate the invite because you're worried that people are going to think that you're going to make money off of them, or that you're worried that people are going to think that you're trying to sell them, right? But ultimately, this is something that you love. This is something that has impacted you, and this is something you want to do with your friends. So think about the people that you want to do this with. Write out a list. In our old training, we would say, write out a list of all of the people that you know. Like if you could make a list of 100 people that you think could benefit from this, like think of your high school friends, your Aunt Susie, your people that you work with, your neighbor friends, your mom friends, like think of all of the people. The average person knows 2,500 people. You know more people than you think you do. I guarantee it. So just start writing out the names. And then it takes the courage to go to them with a normal voice, not word vomit and all of the things where there's Shakeology and there's it. Like, no, just say, hey, I'm doing these new workouts. I'm loving it. Would you want to do it with me? Let's be real. At this point, you guys are coached for like a week, 2 weeks, maybe a few days. You don't have the credibility to go to them and say, hey, I'm now a health and fitness coach. I want to be your coach. I want to coach you and tell you what to do. Because at the end of the day, you aren't, right? You are just going to be there as their cheerleader. You're going to set up a community and you guys can all do it together. The health fitness trainers The super trainers like Autumn and Joel, they're the ones that are going to be those like the fitness trainers. And then we have the nutrition experts and all the things. It's not expected that you are experts. Rather, you would be there as facilitating the community and making space for everybody to come together and do it together. So don't feel as though you need to be this like credible health and fitness guru, because it's not about that. Like Court and I have been doing this 3 years. We're still not like that. It's about creating community. And you already have community. You already have friends who would want to do this with you. And you already have people who would want to work out with you and have a facilitated space you could do it together. Can you provide some advice on how to deal with rejection resistance? I find myself reluctant to go back to those people who already said no. Yeah, I mean, let's be super real. Health and fitness is personal, and what you love, not everybody is going to love it too. And some people, in my experience, need a bit of time to watch you and to see how serious you really are with this. Like, is this just another thing that Ashley's trying out, or like, does she really mean business and she's going to be here a year from now? So some people just need to watch you. When you first send them that invite and they're like, I'm not ready for that, then that's just like a seed you've planted with them. And it's now your job as essentially an accountability person to show up consistently every single day and show them that you mean business. That's why for us, it's not just about sending the invite, and it's not just about being out there on social media. It's both. Because being out there and showing up every single day on social media, sharing your workouts, sharing what you're doing, is a daily reminder to those people that you invited that you mean business, that you will be there for them, that you are accountable. But if you don't directly send a message to somebody, people are going to be too shy to message you. They just aren't. Like, think about it. If somebody put up something on Facebook, I got a new house, I'm having a housewarming party on Friday, hope you can all come. Like, I'm not going. But then if she sends me a message and it's like, hey, I got a new place, I'm having a housewarming party, I hope you can make it, I'd love to see you there, I'd be like, yeah, I'd love to come, right? You have to send the personal invitations, or else people won't be knocking on your door. They just video and expect that that's enough either. Like, a lot of this business is over time and is over building that credibility and seeing it through. So if somebody says no to me, depending on who it is, if it's a close friend and at this point you guys are dealing with your warm market people, you know, I would talk to them and say, what are you doing? What's working for you right now? Like, how are things going at COVID? Like, with COVID at home, like, be a normal person, see where they're at. Maybe it just doesn't work for them right now, and I would never push it on somebody if it doesn't work. But then I'd loop back later. How are you doing? How is this? Is it still working out for you? Where are you guys at? We're doing a new group. I thought of you. Would you want to join? We get hung up on using the right words, but ultimately it's just about being yourself. I think some people find it easier to like voice record yourself and then use those words, or think of how you would talk out loud and then use those words, but don't overcomplicate it. And don't get in your head about it. At the end of the day, what you have to offer, especially right now, is so valuable. Now more than ever, people need a community, need accountability, need some sort of health and fitness support. And what you have is like such a blessing to a lot of people. So be inclusive, invite people. Like, a lot of the times I use that word. I'll say, I don't know if this is your thing, but I like to be inclusive of everybody in my life. I like to be inclusive of those. I feel like, I want to be inclusive and include you. So you got to put it out there. I think at some point it does take a little bit of courage and boldness to be the one that's like, I'm going to put myself on the line and invite you to something that maybe you're going to laugh at me about or whatever. But at the end of the day, that's the only way you can help people. So you have to be the courageous one to put yourself out there. Court, did you want to interrupt?
I'll just say too, it's like, I vividly remember when I started coaching and I went through Facebook and I like went through every single person and I made a list of the ones that I wanted to invite. And basically I was looking for women that I think are great, right? I don't want just anybody in my community. I was looking for women that are great. And I wrote their name down. I sent out like 20 messages to these women and I felt like I was going to puke. I spent like the next 2-3 hours just like avoiding my phone because I didn't want to look, and then checking and being like, nobody's sending me back. And then someone bringing me back. And I was like, yeah, I can't, now when I look back at that, it seems so ridiculous, right? Because I invite women to join my groups every single day. a year in, I actually considered quitting coaching because I didn't want to reach out to people anymore. And I was getting to the point where I was making conversation with strangers, and I felt that that was a waste of my time. I didn't want to be spending my time doing that. So the evolution of inviting as a coach feels hard in the beginning, gets so much easier over time, only if you keep doing it. And it really, as you build your confidence in what you have to offer, it also gets a lot easier too. Because I'm at the point where I know that I don't care where any single woman is at in her health and fitness journey, there's value in joining my group. And I know that. So it's going to evolve. It feels hard now. It's going to get easier, I promise.
Yeah, and like those highs and lows remain, right? Like some days it's like, oh my God, nobody responded to me. Everybody's saying no, nobody's interested in this. And then the next day you have two people who are like, I'm curious, I want to do it. And you're like, yeah, like it really is like this. And that is why ultimately personal development is a huge cornerstone of this business. If you're not working, like Courtney said, your job is your journey. And maybe that's health and fitness, but a lot of it is mindset too. You will not make it as a coach unless you're pouring into your own like mind work and pouring into your own self-esteem, confidence, all of those things. Okay. So next thing I wanted to talk a little bit about is your first goals as a coach. And Beachbody has amazing trainings on this. Courtney, did you want to do the share? Okay. While she's pulling that up. So this is just a share of the back office. Like I said, if you haven't had a chance to like play around and start like learning and doing the different things here, like take some time and go through this. It is incredible, everything that they have here. Ultimately, Grow My Business is a lot of tools and support for you. Monitor My Business is really where I spend most of my time now. It'll show you where your customers are, their subscription orders, so you can see what they're ordering ongoingly. Then it has your whole downline, your coaches, then where they are in the genealogy, how you set your preferred placement, and your coach, when you add your first coach, make sure you talk to your coach about where you set them, where they should go, because everybody is different, right? But they also have here your compensation. Everything will show you there how much money you're making every week, your team volume, the carryover, like all of this stuff. And the cool thing is that Beachbody has such an amazing FAQ section that if you have questions on all this stuff, you can do Beachbody FAQ, any of it, and they'll describe it all, explain it all to you. So if you ever feel like you have no idea what you're doing, Google Beachbody FAQ team volume, Beachbody FAQ carryover volume, and it'll explain it all to you. So if we go back to, I know we're going to talk a little bit about your first goal. So if you go into Grow My Business, and here where we are going to go into the training.
I think you wanted to just show them real quick
training,
sorry. First, right?
Yeah.
This is where.
So that's what we've done. That's the training we've done so far at this point. Next up will be to finish off the rest. If you want to go to the next is the Success Club system. So will outline really your first goals as a coach. Ultimately, the goal is to hit Success Club every month. And Beachbody puts out these kind of like milestones for you to help guide your business and help to build your business in a sustainable way. In order to hit Success Club, that would be SC, stands for Success Club 5, or Success Club 10. You get 2 points every single time you sign up somebody with a challenge pack. So in order to hit past SC5, you would have to sign up 3 people every month. And then SC10 would be 5 people. Depending on what level you get, you'll get better generated leads from Beachbody every month, which is amazing. So your first goal will be to hit Success Club. And over the course of your first 6 months, if you hit Success Club 3 times within the first 6 months, you'll become what we call a success starter. And that's a super exciting benefit within Beachbody, because you'll get a free ticket to the Coach Summit happening in the summer. And you'll also get to be on as a test participant of Beachbody's next workout program, which is super amazing. You'd be the first coach, one of the first coaches to try out the NERV program. You're like super intimate with the trainer. You test everything out. It's amazing. And between now, I guess in the next 3 months, my guess would be that you would be a test participant in Mwala's new program that's coming out this summer. So that's amazing. I would kill to have that opportunity. It's a great way to like boost up your credibility, I guess, on social media and sharing that like you're testing out one of their programs. So that, if you are serious with this business, Success Club Starter, Success Club for 3 months is one of your goals. Okay. So here they have, if you guys want to know more about that, because I just spoke about it really quickly, they have all these great videos here that you can watch and learn all about Success Club. They also have the vital behaviors, the 4 vital behaviors: prove the products work, connect, invite, follow up, get people results, personal development. They're all there. Like, take some time and watch these videos. And this business activity tracker is divided by those 4 vital behaviors as well. So be the proof the product works, this big one: connect, invite, follow up, get people results, and do personal development. Okay. So the first goal, like I just said, is Success Club. That's 3 people a month. What's also convenient is that if you sign up 3 people a month, you will cover your cost of your product every month. So that is ultimately, for me, an absolute minimum. To be honest, Success Club 10, if you're shooting to make a profit in this business, is the minimum. Okay. Next up, your second goal is to hit your first rank, which would be Emerald. Beachbody has some amazing ranking systems and recognition. I don't know if there's anything on here in the back. Yeah, if you maybe go to the training library, or even probably compensation plan, Courtney. And it outlines the rankings. So Beachbody, Emerald would be your first rank. That means you have 2 coaches, 1 on each one of your sides. Court, go to the compensation training. Oh, there you go. Rank advancement training, even better. So your first goal would be Emerald. And we recommend that you try and get to that within the first 30 days. That would be signing up 2 coaches, 1 on your left and 1 on your right. Now, this doesn't need to be somebody who's like invested in working the business like you are. This can be somebody who's looking to get the discount. This can be one of like your spouse or somebody within your life. Ultimately, you really want to focus on getting 1 coach and then your spouse signing up with you. This is something that I think maybe, do you want to talk about that next week, Courtney? What time is it? Maybe we'll talk about signing up the spouse next week. I think that's all I think that's all I had on my list. We do wanted to leave some time today for you guys to do like a Q&A.
I think we were just going to show real quickly. Sorry. I think we were just going to show real quickly the business activity tracker that's online here.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, you know, in the training that we sent you guys, it's the 1 page, right? And it sort of goes through the 5 steps. Number 5 is to continue the corporate training. So that's what Erin has just talked about, and I've shown you, is all these training links on here. Like, be a steward of your own business and go and dive into these videos one by one as you implement. But then also, the business activity tracker is actually on here. And I think it's great practice to, as you're working, to be having this coach office open. And this is a really great way to do that. So if you go back to Success Club system, and if you don't know anything about Success Club, I think that would have sounded like gibberish to you, Erin, going over it. So take the time to watch these videos if you don't know anything about it. But then if you click right here, Success Club Activity Tracker, it's going to bring you to a digital version of the one that Erin showed you. So today is Sunday. Here are your 4 vital behaviors that are on there. So work out or take your scheduled rest. I did that. I drank my Shakeology. I'm going to go over here and I can start checking things off. It's just so helpful, guys. If you don't know where to start by doing this. Start by checking off as many boxes as you can a day on this business activity tracker. And Beachbody really has a way of helping you build a well-rounded business by focusing on these areas. You can even set this little timer. So if you want to initiate connections and expand your network, if you want to do that for, 10 minutes, you can set your timer and you can do that. While you're in here, you can also go back to training and support. If you're like, well, I don't know how to invite, connect, and follow up. Here again, the training is divided into the 4 vital behaviors. Be proof the product works, connect, invite, follow up, get people results, do personal development, and you can click on any of this stuff. So getting started with inviting. Here's a video on how you can get started with inviting. How to follow up effectively. We talked about that in the chat. Here's a video on how to follow up effectively. This training's incredible. Like Erin said at the beginning, we had a whole bunch of videos that we had created together that we would give to you guys on these topics. But at this point with COVID, we haven't been able to see each other. So we haven't been able to like update our training together. And so we started diving into this training that Beachbody has directly on the site. And it's incredible. It's all top coaches. So I highly recommend that you dive in there and check it out for yourself. Erin, I'm sure you've been reading the chat if you want to start answering some of the questions.
Yeah, some great questions in here. Okay. Once you get people interested in working out together, what's the next move? Do you mean like in the conversation, or like how do you sign them up? Mandy, can you elaborate? You can take yourself off mute. I responded saying you can add them to your group or your coach's group, but if that's not enough, let me know.
I meant as in, like I find people interested into my journey because I did the weight loss, but now they're asking, how do I join in? Do I send them a share cart, or do I add them to a group, or is BOD mandatory for the group?
So do you mean like in the conversation, or how do you actually sign them up?
People, because they see that I'm losing weight and they go, what are you doing? What's your secret? And I go, I join a community. We do once a week live workouts. We do our workouts every day, and we do our pre-workouts in the morning and then recover. And they go, how do I do that? They go, how do I join the community? How do I start the workout?
I think that something that's really important that everybody have is that, okay, you're going to send a whole bunch of invites. This is a great question, Eddie, because I think that a lot of people get stuck here. Now what? You need to have a little blurb of info that you can send to them. We highly suggest you get out of social media and you ask them for their email. It's a lot more professional, and then you can duplicate this, right? You can create a little email of info that you can send to someone every time somebody asks for information. So I think that that's probably where you're at, is like, I'd love to send you some more information. What's your email? Then get their email, then take a couple minutes and write out a blurb. We have some landing pages, which are basically information and pricing about our groups. You can pull that landing page up and use it to create your email, but simple is best. You're welcome to use our landing pages, but I'll tell you something, they're not trying to join me, they're trying to join you. So your tiny little email is going to be more effective than sending our landing page. Now, let's say you're not starting your own group yet and you want to use our Start Strong groups, then it would make sense to go ahead and use our landing pages. But for all of you guys, using bod groups is so easy. Hopefully you've all opened one. And if you just have one person that joins your bod group to roll call and stay accountable, that's great. So that's what I would put in the email. I would be like, hey, I'm so excited you're looking for more information. I'm just getting going. I literally just started my coaching journey and I would love to loop you into it. Here's how you can join, and outline one of the packages. Do not ask them what package they want. They don't know. They don't know all the different programs. They don't know the accessories. Ask them what their goals are. Ask them where they're at with their health and fitness. Because if somebody says like, I'm brand new, I've done nothing, then you know that maybe 21 Day Fix would be a great option for them. And then okay, they need the bands, and you can look at what package is best for them. Right now, for that, I would probably say like the 30-day breakaway package is best because it comes with the bands and it's on sale. So those are some things too. Like if you don't know what package to suggest, ask in the chat. Ask in our group chat, right? For that kind of stuff. But I would outline a basic package. And again, you can get some of that information on our landing page as to what you can send that person. I hope that helps.
It did very much. Thank you.
Okay. What was next, Dara?
Shannon asked about friends. To be honest, like Courtney and I stole our mom's bod for years. We were super cheap. I totally relate to this. At the end of the day, I really think that unless you have some skin in the game, it's hard to truly commit. It's easy when you're just like getting it off of somebody else's, people that haven't like purchased under you. I would give yourself some, like, have some boundaries in your business and think about what you want. I personally don't add anybody unless they're my client. So she wouldn't be your client. I personally wouldn't add her. I would say, hey, if you want to join me, like support me in my business and come on board, we can get you signed up with the starter package that's on sale right now. You can say I have some discount codes. I'd love to give you my discount code, like that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't. Court, would you do different?
Yeah, no, and like if you're using bod groups, they need a Beachbody account in order to track their progress and log a workout in your group. So it's just another reason why bod groups is great, is helping your customers have their own account and everything. But yeah, I wouldn't add anybody that didn't purchase. If people sign up for 30-day breakaway and then want to do 9-week control freak down the road, can they just purchase the equipment needing for that product right away and not buy the package? Yeah. So as you continue coaching, like if you guys haven't downloaded the link BB Links, please do so. It's an amazing app which you can just log into and quickly check pricing on different packages and stuff. But yeah, so let's say they purchased 30-day breakaway and then they wanted to do control freak. They would need to purchase the digital upgrade as well as the equipment. So for some brand new people right now, I'm giving them the control freak package, even though they're going to start with 21-day fix, because I feel like they're going to advance quickly. If somebody's brand new, I'm not going there yet, right? Because it's not really a beginner program. So again, that's why it's just really get to know where they're at and to choose the best package. But yeah, you could say, like, if it's somebody that you know well and they're like really getting caught up in the details, you could say, like, this 30-day breakaway package is 186 Canadian, but if you wanted to spend $20 more, you could get these accessories for this next program. I don't know if that interests you or not, So, because I think often it's like, oh, we want to give people the cheapest option. Oh, this one's $20 more. There's no way they're going to spend that. Like, don't make that choice for people. Really don't. Always give them the option, like the Shakeology Challenge Pack, the Performance Challenge Pack, or both. You'd be surprised that some people really want the total solution to get going. Like I use Energize, Recover, and Shakeology every day. So why wouldn't some of the people I'm signing up want to do the same thing, right? Don't make the decision for people. Rather just give them the information and then let them decide.
Natalie, in terms of promo codes, as a new coach, you should be receiving promo codes. Did you just sign up or have you been a coach a long time?
Yeah, they come in your welcome email, which is the day you enroll.
But I know that that's changed over time. So if you, so then you wouldn't have any right now.
It's 30 days.
Yeah.
So make sure to have someone purchase a challenge pack before allowing them to join your bod group. A lot of people I've talked to don't want to commit to anything yet and are just checking out the trial period, which Courtney can attest to. I did as well when I first started. If they purchase the free trial through or enroll for the free trial through you or the 3-month membership, of course, join your group. That's a customer, right, guys? Of course, the challenge pack is the goal because it's going to help build your business as well as going to give them the total solution. But a customer is a customer. You might even run into some women that are like, oh, I already have Beachbody. Don't be like, okay, bye. Ask them, do you have a coach? Are you part of a community? Or did you enroll through the website? Because a lot of people might have enrolled through the website and they don't have a coach and they might want to switch to you. And that's okay. That's common. A lot of new coaches get their first 5-10 customers by just other women switching to them that were using BOD and didn't have a coach or a community. I'll drop that in the chat afterwards too. I have just like a little link. So you send them your information with the link. They can fill out the form and they can be under you as a client and then put them in your group for sure. If you create a bod group, you get codes too, I believe. I don't think so. Yeah. As a new coach, yeah, there's a competition going on right now where you get codes, and then as a new coach, you get codes. Sometimes they do, if you use your new code, they'll send you another one. That might be why, or I don't know. I think that that's probably lots of info. At the end of the day, guys, it's all about getting a couple wins under your belt. Once you have a customer or two to stay accountable to roll call with, you feel like a coach. And you go from really being just a participant in this community to a coach in this community. So finding those first couple wins and first couple customers is so important for your self-esteem and your confidence as a coach, I think. Invite your people. Don't be afraid to share what you love. Totally. Okay, I think that's it for today. Lean into the chat, keep diving into the corporate training, and keep asking questions. I would encourage you guys, I know there's a ton of different women under different coaches in here. Ask your questions in the chat, because there's going to be some other women that aren't asking any questions but have your question. And it really is powerful to just do it in there so that we can all lean into each other. I think that's it. We'll see you guys next week, and I hope you all have some awesome wins this week.